I had installed a $3,000 home security system 6 months ago, checked the living room camera from my business trip to see if my package arrived, and watched my wife walk in with a man at 11 p.m., kiss him in our hallway, and lead him toward our bedroom. Hey friends, please subscribe and turn on notifications, like this video, and leave a comment with your impressions. This will be a great help. Thank you. We never tire of reminding you. It's all thanks to you. Austin in mid-February offers that unpredictable Texas winter weather where you need a jacket in the morning and shorts by afternoon. The city's still bustling with tech workers and music venues and the constant construction that never seems to stop. Everyone enjoying the fact that winter here means 50s and 60s instead of actual cold. I'm 38, work as a regional sales director for a software company, the kind of job that requires frequent travel to meet clients across the Southwest, where building relationships and closing deals means being on the road 2 or 3 days a week. Jessica is 35, works as an interior designer running her own boutique firm from our home office, managing residential and commercial design projects across Austin. Talented, creative, always showing me mood boards and fabric samples and 3D renderings of spaces she's transforming. We'd been married for 6 years, together for 8 total, living in a house we'd bought in the Mueller neighborhood 3 years ago. The marriage had felt solid. We'd built a life together, careers we both cared about, a home we loved. The security system installation had happened last August, 8 months ago. Our neighborhood had experienced a string of break-ins over the summer. Nothing major, mostly package theft and a few garage break-ins, but enough that everyone was on edge and investing in security. I'd researched systems and decided on a comprehensive setup. Ring video doorbell, plus 3 indoor security cameras with cloud storage and mobile monitoring. 1 camera covering the front entry and living room, 1 in the kitchen covering the back door, 1 in the upstairs hallway near the bedroom wing. Total cost with professional installation was $3,000. Jessica had been supportive. It'll be good for when you're traveling. I'll feel safer knowing we have cameras, and I can check them if I hear something weird at night. The system had been installed August 20th. We'd both downloaded the Ring app, could both access all the cameras from our phones, could review recorded footage, get motion alerts, even talk through the cameras if needed. Over the past 8 months, the system had worked perfectly. Caught a few package deliveries, recorded some neighborhood cats wandering across our porch, generally provided the peace of mind we'd wanted. That was 8 months of normal. That Wednesday evening, February 12th, I was in Chicago on a 3-day business trip. Big client presentation Thursday morning, client dinner Wednesday night, the typical sales trip routine. I'd flown out Wednesday morning, checked into my hotel around 2 p.m., spent the afternoon prepping for the presentation. Had client dinner at 7, got back to my hotel around 10:30 p.m. I was in my hotel room, getting ready for bed, when I remembered I had a package being delivered to our house. A new laptop I'd ordered for work. Expensive, needed signature, didn't want it sitting on the porch. I pulled out my phone and opened the Ring app to check if the package had arrived. Clicked on the living room camera to review the day's recorded footage. The live view loaded first, showing our living room in real time. The lights were on. Current time stamp, 10:47 p.m. Jessica was usually asleep by 10:30 on weeknights. Why were the living room lights on at almost 11? As I was looking at the live view, I saw movement. The front door opened. Jessica walked in. She was wearing going-out clothes, nice jeans, a blouse, makeup done, not her usual loungewear she wore at home. Behind her, a man walked in. I stared at my phone. Jessica closed the door behind him. They stood in our entryway, visible in the camera frame. The man said something I couldn't hear. The cameras had audio, but I didn't have headphones in, was in a hotel room late at night, didn't want to disturb neighbors. I grabbed my earbuds, plugged them in, turned up the volume on the live feed. Glad you could come over, Jessica was saying. Of course. I've been thinking about this all day. The man's voice, smooth, confident. They moved closer together. Then they kissed. Not a friendly kiss. A romantic kiss. Passionate. Intimate. The kind of kiss you don't share with someone unless you're in a relationship with them. I sat on my hotel bed 800 miles away watching my wife kiss another man in our living room. They broke apart. Jessica took his hand. Come on, she said, leading him toward the stairs. They walked out of the living room camera's frame, heading toward the staircase. I frantically switched to the upstairs hallway camera. Waited for them to appear. 10 seconds later, they came into view at the top of the stairs. Jessica was still holding his hand, leading him down the hallway. Toward our bedroom. They passed the camera, walking toward the bedroom wing where our master bedroom was located. I didn't have a camera in the bedroom. We'd both agreed that felt too invasive, too much surveillance of our private space. But I didn't need a bedroom camera to know what was happening. Jessica had brought a man home. They'd kissed in our living room. She'd led him to our bedroom. At 11 p.m. on a Wednesday night, while I was in Chicago on a business trip, I sat in my hotel room staring at my phone, hands shaking. Pulled up the recorded footage from earlier that evening. Rewound to when I'd left for the airport that morning. Wednesday, 6:45 a.m. I'm visible on the living room camera, rolling my suitcase toward the door, Jessica giving me a hug goodbye. Have a safe flight. Love you. Love you too. I'll call you tonight after dinner. I'd called her at 9:30 p.m. from the restaurant. She'd answered, sounded normal, said she was working on a client proposal, about to make some tea and head to bed early. She'd lied. She wasn't working on a proposal. She was getting ready to go out, to bring someone home. I scrubbed through the evening footage. Wednesday, 8:15 p.m., Jessica visible on camera, dressed up, checking her appearance in the hallway mirror, then leaving through the front door. Wednesday, 10:47 p.m., Jessica returns with the man. She'd been gone for 2.5 hours. Out somewhere with him, then bringing him back to our house. I switched back to the live feed. The upstairs hallway was empty. They were in the bedroom. It was now 11:03 p.m. I felt sick. Opened my laptop. Logged into the Ring web portal where you could access more features than the mobile app. Went to the recorded footage archive. Started searching through past recordings. Going back weeks, looking for any other instances where this man had appeared. Found one from 2 weeks ago, January 29th, Wednesday night. I'd been in Dallas for meetings. Jessica had come home at 10:30 p.m. with the same man. Same pattern. Kiss in the living room, walk upstairs together. Found another from mid-January, January 15th, Tuesday night. I'd been in Houston. Same man, same pattern. 10:15 p.m. arrival, upstairs together. Found another from late December, December 27th, Friday night. I'd been visiting my parents in Colorado for a long weekend after Christmas. Jessica had said she needed to stay in Austin to work on a project deadline. The footage showed her bringing the same man home at 9:45 p.m. I kept searching. Found instances going back to November. Maybe 6 or 7 times total over the past 3 months where Jessica had brought this man to our house when I was away on business trips. The pattern was clear. When I traveled, she brought him over. Always late evening or night. Always to our bedroom. I looked at my calendar. I traveled frequently. Usually 2 to 3 trips per month. Each trip 1 to 3 days. Jessica knew my travel schedule. She had access to my calendar. She'd been using my travel schedule to plan her affair. I sat in that Chicago hotel room until past 2 a.m., going through footage, taking screenshots, documenting everything. Timestamps, dates, patterns. Building a complete record of evidence. The live feed showed the man leaving our house at 1:47 a.m. Thursday morning. Jessica walked him to the door, kissed him goodbye, closed the door behind him. She turned off the living room lights and went upstairs, presumably back to our bed. I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. Just sat there processing what I'd watched, what I'd discovered. Thursday morning, I had my client presentation at 9 a.m. Somehow got through it on no sleep and pure adrenaline. The client seemed pleased. Signed a contract. Normally, I'd be celebrating. Instead, I called my attorney from my hotel room after the meeting. Mitchell, it's Ryan Garrett. I need a divorce attorney. I have video evidence of my wife having an affair. Multiple instances over the past 3 months. What kind of video evidence? Our home security cameras. I was checking them last night from a business trip and watched her bring a man home. Then I reviewed past footage and found it's been happening regularly when I travel. Timestamps, clear video, everything documented. That's solid evidence. Texas is a no-fault divorce state, but evidence of adultery can still impact property division and other aspects. Send me everything you have. Can you identify the man? Not yet, but I'm going to find out who he is. I had one more client meeting Thursday afternoon. Got through it. Then caught the last flight back to Austin Thursday evening, landing around 9 p.m. Drove home from the airport. It was 10:15 p.m. when I pulled into our driveway. Jessica's car was there. Lights were on in the house. I opened the Ring app on my phone, Check the live feed. Jessica was alone in the living room, working on her laptop, looking normal. I walked in through the front door. Jessica looked up, surprised. Ryan, I thought you weren't coming back until tomorrow afternoon. Client meetings finished early. I caught an evening flight. I set down my bag. How was your day? Good. Busy. Working on the Henderson project proposal. She gestured at her laptop. How was Chicago? Productive. Client signed the contract. That's great. Congrats. I sat down across from her. Jessica, I need to ask you something. Have you been faithful to me? All color drained from her face. What? Of course I have. Why would you ask that? I pulled out my phone, opened the Ring app, pulled up last night's footage, the clip of her and the man kissing in our living room. Turned the phone toward her. Pressed play. She watched herself on screen, kissing the other man, leading him upstairs. Ryan, I can explain. Who is he? His name is Marcus. He's a client. How long have you been sleeping with him? I'm not. It's not what it looks like. I pulled up the compilation I'd made, screenshots from 6 different occasions over 3 months, all showing Marcus in our house. November 15th when I was in San Antonio. December 6th when I was in Dallas. December 27th when I was visiting my parents. January 15th when I was in Houston. January 29th when I was in Dallas again. Last night, February 12th, when I was in Chicago. 6 times. Those are just the times the cameras caught you. How many other times were there? She was crying. I didn't mean for this to happen. How long? Since October. We met when he hired me for his condo renovation. We started talking, spending time together during design consultations. So for months. You've been having an affair for 4 months. I was lonely. You're always traveling. I'm alone in this house 4 or 5 days a week. So you decided to bring your client to our bed when I'm gone. It just happened. The chemistry was there. It didn't just happen. You made choices. You chose to start a relationship with him. You chose to bring him to our house. You chose to sleep with him in our bed. Multiple times. While I was working to support us. What are you going to do? I'm filing for divorce. I've already contacted my attorney. I have all the video evidence documented. Timestamps, dates, clear footage. The security system I paid $3,000 for has a complete record of your affair. The cameras. You were spying on me. I was checking to see if my laptop had been delivered. I saw you walk in with Marcus on the live feed. Then I reviewed past footage and found the pattern. Those cameras are for home security. They did exactly what they're supposed to do. They showed me the truth. You can't use that footage. That's a violation of my privacy. It's our house. The cameras are in common areas, living room, hallway. You consented to the installation. You have the app on your phone. And Texas is a one-party consent state for recordings. The footage is completely legal as evidence. She changed tactics. Started begging. Please don't divorce me. I'll end things with Marcus. It was a mistake. I love you. We can go to counseling. You've been sleeping with him in our bed for 4 months. Using my travel schedule to plan your affair. That's not a mistake. That's a deliberate, ongoing betrayal. Where am I supposed to go? Marcus's place. Your client's place. The man you've been sleeping with. I'm sure he'll take you in. This is my house too. And you'll get your share when we divide assets. But I'm not living with you anymore. Pack a bag. You can stay in a hotel tonight or with Marcus. I don't care. But you're not staying here. Over the next several hours, Jessica packed, cried, apologized, blamed me for traveling too much, blamed Marcus for pursuing her, blamed the cameras for catching her, never took responsibility for her choices. Around 2 a.m. Friday morning, she'd loaded her car with clothes and essentials. I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. But we can fix this. We have 6 years together. We have a life together. We had a life together. You destroyed it when you brought Marcus into our bed. Multiple times. While I was working to provide for us. She drove away. Friday morning, I sent all the video evidence to my attorney. Timestamps, clear footage, the pattern documented over 3 months. Saturday morning, I got a text from an unknown number. This is Marcus Chun. Jessica told me about the cameras. I didn't know you had security footage. For what it's worth, she told me you two were separated and just living together until she could move out. I never would have pursued her if I'd known you had an active marriage. I'm sorry, I replied. Did you know she was sleeping in the bed she shares with her husband? She said you slept in separate rooms. We don't. You were in my bed. In my house. While I was traveling for work. He didn't reply. Over the next few weeks, the divorce process moved forward. Jessica tried to fight the evidence, claimed the cameras were an invasion of privacy, tried to have the footage excluded. Her attorney told her it wouldn't work. The footage was legal, the cameras were in common areas, she'd consented to the installation, and Texas law allowed it as evidence. By late March, Jessica agreed to an uncontested divorce. We split assets 50-50 as required by Texas community property law, but the video evidence meant she couldn't claim any additional support or make claims about fault on my part. The divorce was finalized in May. Early June, I ran into one of Jessica's former colleagues at a coffee shop in Mueller. "Ryan, hey, I heard about the divorce. I'm sorry. Thanks. It was for the best. Did you really catch her on your security cameras?" "Yeah, multiple times over 3 months. Everyone in the design community has been talking about it. Jessica's business has taken a hit. Turns out sleeping with your clients while married doesn't make for good professional optics. She lost several projects when word got out." "What about Marcus?" "He ended things with her immediately once he found out she'd lied about being separated. He's actually considering suing her. She did design work for his condo that he paid for, but now he doesn't want to use any of it because of the association with the affair." By summer, I was completely reset. The house felt like mine again. I'd changed the locks, updated all security codes, kept the camera system, but changed the access so only I could monitor it. Started taking Texas barbecue cooking classes, proper brisket smoking, Central Texas technique, the regional specialties. The traditional cooking was grounding. Work continued its normal rhythm. Sales meetings, client presentations, travel for business. The same work I'd always done, but now coming home to an honest household. I thought about that night in the Chicago hotel room sometimes. Opening the Ring app to check for a package delivery. Seeing my wife walk through the door with another man. Watching them kiss in the hallway I walked through every day. Seeing her lead him to our bedroom. The security system I'd installed for safety had exposed the biggest threat to my marriage, and it was coming from inside the house. I didn't feel triumphant about Jessica's situation. I felt clear about the decision I'd made. I'd spent $3,000 on cameras to protect our home from external threats. They'd ended up protecting me from internal betrayal instead. Better to discover infidelity through security footage than to live for years not knowing. I didn't feel vindicated. I felt whole. When you're 800 miles away checking your home security camera for a package delivery and watch your wife walk in with another man, kiss him in your hallway, and lead him to your bedroom, do you assume there's an innocent explanation or do you immediately know your marriage is over? Share your perspective in the comments.